KIIS FM's Kyle and Jackie O show. I've had a few run-ins with Kyle over the time. Kyle, was it the other day that I said something about Kyle and he rang me up in the morning and left a filthy message on my voicemail, abusing me? Anyway, Jackie O, who's the girl who does the show with him, very successful. They're both paid, I think, $10 million each to do their radio show. She stormed out of the studio after learning that the station that employs them, KIIS FM, has the highest gender pay gap disparity across not only Australian radio, but all the media. She stormed out to be with female staff. Real or a stunt?
Oh, come on, Steve. Now, how long have you been in there? Oh, come on, Steve. I think you know.
Real.
Look, you're not a newbie here. I don't think that was real. And this is the thing. Let's give them kudos. Kyle and Jackie O are the top-rating Sydney breakfast radio program. Whatever they do works. They're soon to come to Melbourne. This makes headlines. You see all the media pick it up. No one cares really if it's true or not. They just pick it up. So they're getting the publicity they want, but I'm not so sure it's legit.
Have a guess who in the media, which media companies were the best when it came to gender pay gap?
Sky News Australia.
In fact, the women at Sky are paid more than the men.
Yeah, and I saw that that Crikey wrote about that. It must have been hard for them to write about that.
That doesn't surprise me at all, I've got to say. The ABC, now, they've really loved putting their foot in it. They went on this huge hiring spree, I'm told. You've written this story, hiring a whole bunch of cultural advisors to make sure that their producers on radio, TV, journalists were all dealing with, quote, culturally sensitive stories. Well, imagine the shock on their faces when last week the ABC published a story online about smoking stereotypes. Now, this is just one of the opening lines of the report. If you were asked to picture a typical smoker, Sophie, you might come up with the following stereotypes: someone who is unemployed, uneducated, Indigenous and suffering poor mental health. Well, as you can imagine, that did not go down all that well. The line was quickly altered and removed any reference to Indigenous people and changed to, if you were asked to picture a typical smoker, you might not imagine someone unemployed, educated or has good mental health. What's the cultural ambassador doing?
Well, they've got these new cultural guidance advisors that they've hired. There's going to be 3 of them. They've hired one. They've got another 2 coming in. And they've got to make sure, Steve, that stories are culturally sensitive.
Of course.
So I'm surprised this actually got through. But someone in the ABC went, this is shocking. They stripped it down. They rewrote the entire story.
Tried to make out it never happened.
Make out it never happened. They put a little disclaimer at the bottom and they didn't put on their corrections page until we ran a story in the Australian saying, why isn't this on the ABC's correction page? And sure enough, it suddenly arrived on the corrections page.